So today is a bit of a milestone day in my gardening experience here. And before I explain why, I'm going to take you on a quick journey back in the past to get you caught up to this moment. On February 21st, 2021, in this area here, I laid my first pieces of cardboard, compost, and wood chips to create these first 5 beds. I know it was February 21st because I texted a picture to my mother showing her the project that was getting started. Within a couple of months after that, these 5 beds went in, but I didn't have compost, so it was just cardboard and wood chip. And when I had a little bit of compost later, I top dressed the wood chip with that compost for beds and let that decompose before planting a bit into it. They didn't perform overly well, but they were planted. But that was the garden space originally, was basically to the end of this particular garlic bed, all the way over here. Now, immediately after planting, I wound up with a lot of deer pressure. So basically where you see this pathway and the current fence, and this pathway to the edge of the garlic over to that fence, we had that area fenced in to give us protection from deer. Now, as the growing season started to come to an end in November, I knew I wanted to expand the garden. So that's when I pulled up the fence that I had and I built this one all the way around. Now, in this area, it was all pasture still. So that winter, I got to work laying down cardboard and wood chip to smother the native Bermuda grass and other weeds in an effort to expand the garden into a more plantable surface for the go-forward years. And not long after that, the Bermuda grass in April broke dormancy and laughed at my cardboard and wood chips and ripped right through. I spent time re-smothering it with some more semi-decomposed homemade compost, more wood chip in the pathways, deciduous leaf fall, grass clippings, anything I could get my hands on to really try to smother that back out. And I did mow it down a few more times with a push mower because I couldn't get a riding mower in here. And that failed. Bermuda grass kept jumping on through. So in June of 2023, I finally committed to hand removing all the Bermuda grass in this area that I still hadn't smothered out successfully. And it was a big project, about 9 months, handful of hours on a regular basis each day, and I got through it in March of 2024. That was when I think that's when I pulled my last big chunk out from, I think it was the northwest corner. Now, it was all clear. Things were good. Problem was, I wasn't ready to actually have that much growing space available to me because I didn't have that much historically. So I really only seed started and had plants on hand for a smaller section of the garden because I never had that much availability to me. So a lot of those beds went unplanted. That brings me to today, and why today is a milestone. Excluding all of the berries that run from the west side along the north edge. On the north side of that little raised bed, which is a future project, is a broccoli bed. All the way over to the fence, I have 16 beds on each row. 1, 2, 3. So 48 beds in total. And today, April 20th, 2025, the end of this bed, I'm going to throw a couple of cucumber plants in there. Little seedlings, just starting to get their true leaves, but I'm ready for them to get out and get in contact with some native soil to give them a little more nourishment, get them in the nice full sun, put a little bit of mulch ring around them. And this will be the first time in 4 years, starting my 5th year of growing in this space, that I'm going to have something in every bed that I have established. Now that bed's not full yet. It's only got the 2 cucumber plants. I'll probably put some flowers in there at some point, and in a few weeks I'm going to start more cucumber seeds, maybe 1 or 2, to stagger start them, because in prior years I've noticed that my cucumbers fruit hard for about 3 or 4 weeks and then really abruptly die off. So I'm going to start doing an every 3-week start on them and transplant one out to see if I can get more succession harvesting going with cucumbers, since I haven't had any luck getting a long season on them. But this is the first time all beds have been planted since I've had it, and it's been a long time coming in this garden to get to that point, and a lot of hard work. Happy to share that with you. It's the reality of doing work by hand this way, is sometimes your best laid plans experience a bit of a headwind, and you've got to fight through that. And you can win, but it takes a bit of persistence, and sometimes you're going to have some really rough days where you just really don't want to garden, and that's okay. Give yourself a bit of a mental break, but know that you got to come back and you got to keep working it, because it's not all glamorous. But what is really nice is when you open your fridge or you look at your counter and you've got a big bountiful harvest sitting there that came, in my case, 100 yards away. In your case, if you're in a neighborhood, maybe 20 feet. If you're in an apartment, maybe your windowsill. It's worth the effort, but you got to stick with it. Keep watching things, keep reading things, keep learning more, and keep doing it. Don't stop. Yeah, you're going to have challenges, but you're going to have a whole lot more reward if you just keep at it. And that's what I did. Like I said, February 21st to today, that's a little over 4 years it took me to get this space that I'm standing in right now tame enough to where I had plants in every area. And it's only going to get better at this point. Thanks for joining me today, and good luck this season.